rule book, and it's constantly repeated by Brian Barnhart in the meeting. They have every right to stay where they are according to the rules.
Oh, somebody's off right there.
Drop the wheel.
Looks like Newgarden has backed off of the back. He was kind of challenging Pagenaud a little bit, and he's kind of just taking the orders of his team just to, hey, cool it here. The guy they got to worry about is Dixon right now, so can't afford to get in any problems with any of these guys. But
Dixon's finding it difficult to try and clear. Carlos Munoz in the 14.
So what would you do, Paul? You got Tim Cindric on the radio telling you to just stay there, take it easy.
Well,
you've been in that situation before.
There's a reason I don't have a job at Penske and he does. I wasn't very good at listening to those orders.
You realize that's why we love you so much. Hard charger all the way to the end.
What about the song? What about the singing that broke out before? Huh?
Don't go there, Lee. No. Don't go there. I like the driving. The singing gives me a migraine.
I'll tell you what, this guy, as we look at Simon right here, as we go back to Newgarden, he's going to be the star of American racing for a long time to come. I said, you know, when he was at Ed Carpenter Racing, he deserved a chance. He's young, he's fast, he's brave, he's good looking, he gets all the sponsor names in, he talks very clearly, it doesn't sound staged, he gets everything in after a race.
Well, he's sincere.
The crew loves him.
Yeah.
He's at the shop every day, he's working out with his crew. The 20 and 21 just pulled over, so now it's just these two racing alone. But this kid is the whole package.
Think about this, boys. 4 years ago, Tim Cindric and I were sitting in the grandstands watching Austin Cindric, his son, run the Pro Mazda race. And I started in on him, and I said, how can you and Roger not have Joseph Newgarden under contract? They had a meeting with him, and he was only 21 years old, and he was kind of immature. And Tim said, well, he crashes a lot. And I said, well, he's a one-car team trying to keep up with you guys. Hell, yes, he crashes a lot. But look at the potential he's got. So I kept beating on him, and I kept beating on Penske. And last year at Long Beach, I said, what's the deal? And he goes, just calm down. He said, I've been looking at this kid. He's on our list. So I'm glad they finally signed the kid up, because his career, think of what lays ahead of this guy. And he's going to be a hell of a champion. We just got to convince people, boys. It's Joe Newgarden from Tennessee, not Joseph from the Ukraine. So let's work on that.
And every year, Joseph Newgarden has improved in his championship result at the end of every season. First season in 2012, he finished 23rd overall. Next year, made a whopping leap to 14th. Next year, marginal improvement to 13th. A bigger step in 2015 to finish 7th. Last year, finished 4th. Incremental improvements every single year.
And let me remind everybody out there listening that at some point in their career, Robin Miller has been their agent.
was yours for a long time.
I was Graham Rahall's agent. I was told to quit talking about him on Wind Tunnel. So now I've taken over for Spencer Piggott and Joseph Newgarden, but so far, no money has changed hands.
And if not the driver, the agents for some of the CEOs of the sport. Robin Miller, you love the sport. You've been so fierce in your convictions, and we have a lot of respect for your love and influence in what goes on here. But I hear you loud and clear with Newgarden. And I got to say, I don't agree with Tim Cindric. I can't remember a time when Newgarden was immature. He might have crashed a little more often, but I always saw Newgarden as a very mature and focused young driver. As a battle still continues at the back.
7th and 8th here, Marco Andretti and Ryan Hunter-Ray.
Good battle going on, getting the big marbles offline now, so these guys got to be careful. It's tough to get by. It's a little bit turned into a one-line track in some of the sections of the track, because there's a lot of marbles offline, especially through the S's coming back towards the hairpin.
One more thing, you guys, you got to think about what is Penske like? He likes a polished kid the fans like, the media loves. He's the Penske perfect driver from top to bottom. PT probably wasn't a Penske perfect driver, but he was just a great racer.
And there There is Roger. Boy, the sense of pride coming into this championship finale with all 4 of his drivers in contention, all 4 of his drivers locking out the front 2 rows of the grid, all 4 of his drivers still on track now, still running well.
And you can see the anxiety in Roger Penske's body there. How many times has he seen the championship slip?
Just keep doing what you're doing.
The championship slip away at the final round. So if he can finish 1, 2, 3 with the Drivers' Championship, that's going to be incredibly satisfying to complete the job in dominant fashion.
Well, he'll be 1-2 in the championship, but Dixon will spoil the party for the top 3. He'll come home in 3rd right now, and then Castro Neves, what may be his final season, slips to 4th.
Good coaching from Tim Cindric. Just keep doing what you're doing. 2 to go. We're almost there.
Still saving fuel, Town. You hear him backing off the throttle, coasting into the corners, saving his brakes, not using the rear tires too hard.
And how about that? I mean, when have you ever seen an IndyCar driver finish a full race with over 90% of push to pass still remaining?
I can say for me, never.
Never.
I can't remember it. It's quite the opposite. Usually they're quite greedy with it and use it up very quickly.
Chilton was on the push to pass, trying to stay on the lead lap. 1 more lap to go at the line, so he will fight to end his season on the lead lap.
Don't get caught up in that mess in front of you. Do what we're doing here. 1 more.
Cindric giving his driver instructions, don't get caught up with that mess in front of you, because we see Chilton is fighting to stay on the lead lap.
Well, and remember, Max Chilton drives for Chip Ganassi. Even though this might be the last lap that he drives for Chip Ganassi, he's still on that team, and up ahead of Chilton is Charlie Kimball, who might be on his last lap for Chip Ganassi. So that's what Tim Cindric refers to by the mess. They don't want anything to happen that could affect Dixon's ability to make something happen as a miracle here with half a lap to go.
By the way, Max Chilton will finish, if he stays where he is now, Max Chilton will finish 11th in the championship. That's not a bad run. Not a bad run. He
was just on the push to pass. Again, he's wide, tires spinning coming out of the corner. All these marbles here offline. Look at the size of those marbles, Townsend. Big chunks.
Pressure from behind.
They're huge.
Oh,
it looks like a gravel trap.
Move.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's a brave move for the last lap.
Simon Pagenaud and his engineer, Ben Bretzman, had composed a really sensible, savvy race, a 4-stop strategy to get Simon Pagenaud the victory as he comes into the final turn. But the focus, he might be in position 2 and car number 2, but he will be number 1. Simon Pagenaud wins in Sonoma, but Joseph Newgarden is the 2017 Verizon IndyCar Series champion.
Great team. Great job, team. Awesome work. Awesome stuff. Thank you, guys.
It's a reality now for Joseph Newgarden, the 26-year-old from Hendersonville, Tennessee, is a champ. He's the first American IndyCar champion in 5 years. What an awesome performance. Ashley, his girlfriend, Christina, his sister, mum and dad are there as well. That is huge. Winning the championship in your first year for Roger Penske. It doesn't get any better.
How many more is Joseph Newgarden capable of at such a young age with an amazing team? He's got such a bright future. And he'll remember this cool-down lap for a long time under the golden Californian sun. Thumbs up from all his fellow drivers.
And Joseph Newgarden is the 2017 Verizon IndyCar Series champion.
And there's the push to pass.
Just think back to the beginning of the broadcast when he told now Kevin Lee, I'm trying to keep my emotions in check. I'm trying not to let it get the best of me and get carried away. I'm just going to do what I know. Let's hear from the man who leads and owns the team. He's with Katie.
And 4 dogs in this fight for Roger Penske. And Roger, your newest one brings it home. What made this transition so smooth for Joseph Newgarden?
Well, I think we saw how good Joseph was when we were racing against him, and you saw him in Iowa. You saw him do such a great job. But, you know, overall, it's a team effort here. Everybody, and you can see Simon there was strong at the end. But, again, I can't believe it. It's a great thing for our team.
You've always been a boys have at it among your drivers for the championship. What led to that decision?
Well, I think that's the way we race, and that's the way we sit down and talk about it and use your head and don't knock anybody off. So we had a good day.
And 15 championships now for Roger, as we see Michael Andretti also walking up to congratulate Roger Penske. Lee.
Fantastic. Fantastic. There's Scott Dixon. Did as good as he could do today. Ended up coming home 4th.
Top Honda.
Top Honda, 3rd in the championship. Will Power in behind. It's just a rock-solid day from the Championship 5, and Joseph Newgarden did exactly what he had to do. And in an exciting piece of history, a meaningful piece of history for Joseph Newgarden. He joins the likes of Rick Mears, Al Unser Jr. and Gilles de Ferran to win in their first season for the captain.
Driver, as you sit there, you just want to get out of that car so fast and hug your crew. But, you know, you got some protocol here to do, wait for TV to get their interviews. But look at his guys are right there, everybody congratulating him. You just want to get out and hug everybody.
How about that, huh?
To get out now?
Yeah, I go out. Come on!
Let the celebration begin. Joseph Newgarden is the 3rd American IndyCar champ since 2000. He's the youngest in a unified IndyCar since Jacques Villeneuve in 1995. Congratulations from Roger Penske. His dad, Joey, has already been in. And let's watch for a moment before we talk with Joseph Newgarden and let him celebrate friends, family, and team. Team Penske President Tim Cindric, who called the strategy for this race.
I said at the beginning of the year, it was a big move for Cindric to move off of Power's car and take on Newgarden. And I thought that was a huge move. Man, did he ever coach him today, Kevin?
Joseph, you are an IndyCar champion. How does that sound?
That's awesome. You know, just so cool. So proud of these guys. It's just, I don't even know what to say. It was all year. Took a lot to make this happen. You know, thank you to my teammates. They were giving me a lot of help today and making sure that we got this done. And it's a huge team effort at Team Penske. So it's cool to do this in home colors with Verizon. Verizon does so much for the IndyCar series. They've given fans such great access over the years. So happy to have this car on for the championship. It's super fitting. And all our other partners that we've had at Team Penske, it's just been phenomenal working with Team Chevy, PPG, Fitzgerald Glider Kits, DeVilbiss. We've had so many great partners on this car, and to finally get it done, it's a dream come true, man. It's too awesome.
You are the first champion in their 20s in almost a decade, and you might have had a car that could win this race, probably did. How hard was it to not try to attack and win the race at the end and just do what you needed?
It was hard. I was using my natural instincts. I was trying to get Pagenaud there because I just, you know, that's what I normally do. I try and win the race whenever possible, and, you know, Tim was telling me, be patient, don't do something stupid. So I tried to get him, but I also tried not to do anything dumb for the team. And like I said, this has been a team effort, so I'm happy for Pagenaud. You know, he had the pace to win today for sure, so he's very deserving, and this entire group makes this happen. So I'm so thankful and happy with everything that Team Penske's done, and congrats to everyone at the factory. I mean, this is an amazing amount of work that goes into this.
The fans can hear you here. You have been a popular champion. You can tell in the reaction. What do you want to say to the fans that are listening?
Gosh, thank you so much to the IndyCar fans. We have some of the best in the world. It's only getting better, I swear. The IndyCar series is growing. People know that we have great motorsports here, so tune in. If people don't know, tell them what's up with IndyCar racing. Come to the Indy 500 next year. Come watch the 2018 Verizon IndyCar Series Championship. You will not be disappointed. So thank you for all your support.
And I don't know if you had a chance to talk with all your close family members. I saw your dad, Joey, lean in. What do you want to say to them in front of everyone?
They've done so much for me. My dad, he put it all on the line, just like my mom. And it's a dream come true. I'm sure they're happy too, man.
Congratulations. Joseph Newgarden, we'll talk to him again when we present the Astor Cup to the young American IndyCar champion.
Where are they? Where's my...
And that's an example of why he is and will be a very popular champion. He's just a great guy, a great young American champion.
Pretty cool to hear the emotion in his voice when he thinks back and realizes the work and the sacrifice, not for just himself, but his entire family to get him to this point. I think it's all kind of hitting Joseph right now.
The days of going with your dad and your family to the go-kart track when you're a kid and the sacrifices that they do and the money you spend to get you to this point that his father committed and his mother, to get him here now. And you hear as soon as he brought up the family, he immediately got choked up and welled up, his eyes welled up and started to cry. So amazing day for this young kid.
And Scott Dixon came into the race today 4 points behind Joseph Newgarden, but rounds out the season third in points. Scott, could you have done anything differently to catch up with Team Penske today?
I don't know. It seemed like, you know, the three just covered us. Whenever we pitted short, they pitted with us, and he was just a massive roadblock. And it was, you know, he was good in 6. You know, we kind of needed the run into 7, tried a 1 lap and kind of overshot there. So it was just, it was circumstance. You know, once we got clear track, we were able to hunt them down. But all day, as soon as we got in traffic, the car just got really loose. So huge credit, obviously, to everybody on the NTT data crew. You know, it was a strong season. Obviously not where we want to finish in the championship, but congrats to Penske and obviously Joseph on a job well done.
It's kind of an odd season for you, just 1 win, but still in the championship hunt. When you look back on this season, how would you characterize it compared to your others?
I think we had good speed, but just, you know, we should have won quite a few races and didn't. We, you know, got crashed out of a few as well, and those are all valuable points. So, you know, you can look back and blame it on, you know, 10 different things, but you know, I think as a group we learned a lot this season. Going back to Honda, I think, you know, the team definitely made some good gains, and looking forward to next season. We'll have a little bit of a break here and get going again.
Thanks, Scott. Robin?
Okay, we got Will Power and Elio. You guys drove your heart out, but boy, I tell you what, Pagenaud, a 4-stop race, made it work. Did you think halfway through the race, okay, I wish I'd have tried that strategy?
Well, last year I tried that, and didn't work. So, again, it's one of those things this year. So I'm not going to try that. I tried to make the car really good in the race conditions. But, you know, we have 4 fast cars, and we knew that somebody got to try something different. He picked that one. Good for him. He ended up winning the race. And but again, congrats to obviously Joseph. Great job. But I tell you, Hitachi, Chevy, Team Penske, great performance this year.
Will, don't you run away either. We'll be right back. What about your race? It was just, I mean, you got close for a while and you dropped back. Were these particular segment bad?
No, just hanging and keeping a buffer between Joseph and Dixon, and you know that was our plan all day. So we were just going to do exactly what Joseph did and stay behind him, obviously, unless something else happened. But yeah, it's kind of a boring day, and it's what we needed for the team. You know, congrats to Joseph, fantastic season, his first season in the team, and to win the championship is a you know, very big achievement. So congrats to him.
All right. We hope this isn't your last full-time IndyCar race, but if it is, you've been a hell of a driver, got a lot of fans, and we'll still get to see it at the Indy 500.
Appreciate that. I have to say that a lot of people, especially the fans and the entire industry, you know, especially here at the Verizon IndyCar Series, folks, even the drivers, it's been awesome. It was a great season. Let's see what's going to happen. But right now we're going to join the celebration with the championship, because this is most important. I feel that I'm part of it. Will feels the same way. We all contribute, and even that I didn't take the championship, we work really hard together to bring this championship to Roger. So let's keep moving on now.
And you still don't want to trade one of those Indy 500 wins for a championship?
Heck no, man. I mean, I worked so darn hard to get those 3 Indies, and I'm going to get one more, so don't worry.
All right. Lee?
Well, it's really interesting, isn't it? And Elio has remained very resolute in, we will see, we will see. Not coming out saying, this has been my last IndyCar race, or it will be my last IndyCar race as far as a full-time competitor. And if indeed he does go away from the series, I'll feel a little sorry for him because he hasn't been allowed that celebratory send-off. So anyway, we'll talk more about that in just a moment. We will check in with Jan Beeker. So much to talk about in the wake of the season finale.
And of course, that would be Simon Pagenaud, who has finally made his way here to victory lane. Let's not forget, there is one driver today that had a perfect day in Sonoma, and that would be Simon Pagenaud. It may not have necessarily been a perfect day for the championship, but you said you had to do something different, Simon. You went with a 4-stop strategy, and you had to work for this all day.
I'm exhausted. Yeah, that was as hard as I could drive for 85 laps non-stop. I can barely lift my arms right now, but I want to thank everybody on the DXC team today. It was a phenomenal performance, I think, all weekend. I want to congratulate Joseph, of course, and Tim Penske. I think you know, our team this weekend and the whole season showed how strong everybody is at Team Penske. Back-to-back champion. It's phenomenal. Great testament to a great team spirit, and I'm very happy for him. He deserves it. So we did what we had to do. We tried. We won the race. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough. But you know, it's a whole championship. You got to be strong on every races, and I guess Joseph was a little stronger this year. So we're going to come back. 13 points. Next year we'll come back and give him a head of a competition again.
Well, speaking of that kind of competition, the two of you were very close on your final pit stop. When you exited, you were ahead on cold tires. How difficult? You knew you had to protect, but you had to not make sure there was contact.
Yes, when I was in a preferred position, I was ahead. So I'd always rather be hunted than the hunter. The tires came up to temperature really quick. Like I said, I was in so much confidence with the car all day that I was really pushing the envelope, and it just worked out. The tires came up to temp really quick, and I knew Joseph wasn't going to take too many risks either. So it was a little difficult with the back markers because we couldn't get up and going. But overall, what a beautiful day.
You got a round of applause today in the drivers' meeting for your representation of the champion and the way that you've conducted yourself all year. For Joseph Newgarden, I know it's tough now thinking about, oh, it's not you, but what do you pass on to your teammate about the job you've done and the responsibility of a champion?
Well, I think, you know, obviously it's a very competitive championship. It's very rare to see a domination for many, many years. I think, you know, we came up short this year, but we defended really well. I'm so proud of my guys on the #1 car. I think we represented the #1 really well. But overall, it's a team effort. I'm very glad for him. I think he's going to be a tremendous champion. He's American, which is great for the sport. And, I mean, he's a kid. And I tell you what, he's very smart already.
Oh, here he is.
Congratulations, bro. You did it, man. You did it. He did it.
Hey. Huge team effort, though, man. Thank you for all the help.
You got the ring, man.
Huge team effort.
Simon Pagenaud, what an impressive effort, a grueling effort, telling Jan he could hardly lift his arms, and an amazing run to get his 10th career victory. Come up a little short on the championship on a day that is Newgarden's day. Joseph Newgarden, the new champion.